Welcome back to another episode of Thanks for the Consult. As always, I'm Fior, and we have with us Aaron.
What's up, gang?
Today's guest is Ryan Highlands, paramedic, firefighter, EMA coordinator, pre-hospital coordinator, and potentially third grade spelling bee champ. We're not sure. We'll figure that out. Ryan, how you doing, man?
And how are you guys?
I live in the dream. Thanks for coming on and spending some time with us.
For sure. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. I remember, it feels like 2-3 months ago at this point, talking about coming on at the open. I was like, I think he's messing with me. And then you're like, no, I'm in. I'm like, yes.
Here I am.
This will be good.
Ryan, how long have you been rocking that beard for?
I go back and forth between the beard and the goatee.
No, I like it.
Beard fits better, but it's mostly goatee.
Yeah.
I can't grow a full one, so I just when I recognize, I like to appreciate.
I need to get a real good one. Real full is what I'm looking for, like lumberjack beard, like down to my belly. Perfect.
So Ryan,
Duck
you'll
Dynasty
appreciate
reboot
this.
kind of beard.
So one of our coworkers who is currently on PTO and up at Penzic working for somebody else, they required him to shave his beard.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. He does not like that at all.
No, and you know what he really loves though? When you go up and see him there and you like grab where his beard used to be, loves that.
If you take him the elf cookies, the EL fudge cookies, he loves them. He'll be happy. Him and I probably ate 4 boxes of them sitting at the open. He had more so than me.
You can't. We had those piles of snacks and drinks in there. I was like, this is dangerous. These have to last all week.
Is that your first time up the Penzic?
Yeah, I just stopped up there briefly because I was working up in that area.
That is a wild experience.
But he was telling me some of the stuff they do up there, like not the EMS stuff, but like the
participants,
Penzic people, like is just absurd.
Yeah.
Like Aaron, I was told they have they auction off sex slaves. They have a sex auction, but like since the money goes to charity, it's cool. I guess it's not illegal if the money goes to charity.
I think that's how that works.
I mean,
it's all strange. Like getting people to tell you their actual name and not their Penzic name, if you will. It's
their pseudonym.
Yeah, it is just wild.
So one misconception that I had that I'm pretty sad about not being true, I assumed there'd be a lot more like giant smoked turkey legs.
There are.
I'm going back up next week to find one then.
There's actually, you'll have to ask Turk when you get up there, but there's a place not far from First Aid, or there wasn't a place far from First Aid the last time I was up there.
Okay. Yeah, so that's like on I would say probably the furthest stretch of where we would reasonably be dispatched to. So it's kind of a haul. So I try not to spend too much time out there, especially whenever I know there's like 4 paramedics or so sitting in that tent, plus the ALS service that has 1 or 2 medics on that covers that area.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Aaron, if you're not familiar, I realize that we're just talking about Penzic and you probably don't know what it is. It's, I don't know what the appropriate term is, so please nobody come for me, but like, it's like a medieval battle thing. They camp in like tents, but not like not like one you'd find at like a sporting goods store, like a wooden pole canvas tent.
Yeah, they LARP.
Yeah, it's literally like walking back into time 350, 400 years.
Yeah, well, my understanding is that LARPing it's almost a slur in that community. So I'm trying not to offend, folk.
I didn't know Thank You for the Consult was getting politically correct.
We're not getting politically correct. We're just not actively incorrect.
That sounds like a politically correct way of saying that we're politically correct.
Maybe.
Everybody happy.
Yeah. So, Ryan, I was looking at the photo you sent over for us, and they stacked you and Patrick on the ends with the beards,
Absolutely.
and then like everybody in the middle. But so we had Patrick on and Norm. I tried getting Richie, man. We'll see what happens. Richie, if you're watching this, we're calling you out. We want you on, bud.
I'll even come back and sit with you, Richie, if you come on.
Yeah, somebody somebody
I'll
will
be
we'll
your
give you,
support person.
yeah, we'll give you a bottle of Dickel too, if that's what
That
it
is
takes.
probably what it'll take.
It's fine. I got a liquor store by my house.
Yeah, right.
Are those all your narcotics stacked up on the shelf there?
No, those are just empty boxes.
Yeah.
Those are
That'd be
the new drug
wild.
boxes for all the response units.
That'd be absolutely wild if like the narcotic system was like, let's just put massive amounts of them in this office.
Yeah, that's what I need is for somebody like the DEA to come in and say, hey, why is there just shelves full of narcotics behind you?
Like probably one of the more like that office probably has more people with access than like any other single office in that building. Because like,
Well, if you're concerned about the DEA coming in, I can take some of those boxes off your hands.
that would probably make it worse. So Ryan, you I know that you're the pre-hospital coordinator in the East Hills over at is Forbes. We don't have to pretend you're wearing an AHN shirt so we can tell where you're at.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah. So you so you're the pre-hospital coordinator for Forbes. And there's two of you there, and my understanding is you guys have a huge just region, so you kind of split the region between the two of you. Okay. Which areas do you kind of cover then? Are you the inner region or like the farther
Yeah,
out stuff?
I'm pretty much the inner region. Tyler has everything on the outskirts. I got Allegheny County, Westmoreland County.
Okay.
Tyler, though, he covers the eastern part of Westmoreland. He has Indiana, Blair, Jefferson County. Like we go the whole way out to Altoona.
You guys should expand out to Bedford.
Surprisingly, we're not that far from Bedford, like with our Somerset agencies.
Aaron works out in Bedford.
Make it happen.
I used to work for a Blair agency that was through you guys.
But so that's I would say what you do is a non-traditional paramedic job, right? You're not seeing patients every single day. But it's certainly an interesting one. But so you kind of stay on top of all of the protocols and stuff because you're doing the trainings, the skills reviews, correct?
Yes.
All right, very good. And then it's my understanding you also do some of the critical care transports and things like that as well.
I do like I'll cover shifts on the transport truck. I've been fortunate. I've got to hop on with critical care just because they've had some pretty sick patients.
Yeah.
And the folks there that I've been with are just phenomenal. Like any question I would ask them, they would answer. And like obviously, if the patient wasn't stable, like we'll get you at the end. But kind of like being a student again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they have been great. Everybody there has answered any question I've had. Like I like it too because then it just helps me for any patient that I'm transporting from A to B.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed anytime I get like a goofy patient, like a goofy presentation of something, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? So like I do a follow-up and find out like, oh, it was XYZ. I often find that I get that same presentation in a different patient very quickly thereafter. I can't explain it. It's just very weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
And then like I'll never see it again. But
no, but hopefully the first time you see it, jars your memory for the second time.
Yeah. We forgot to ask you, I'm sorry, the most important question that we ask everybody here. What is your favorite IV catheter?
Favorite IV catheter?
Yeah. It could either be brand, style.
Oh, man. At least an 18 gauge.
Okay.
And I would prefer the ones that have the automatic stop on it. Backflow valve.
Self-occluding. Yeah. Huh. Me too.
At least an 18. Nothing smaller than a 20.
Okay. See, I'm a little different. I'm normally at like 20 is my daily driver. You know what I mean? That's your run-of-the-mill patients.
Only 24s for me.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. But like the 18s.
Push that D10 through that 24.
Hey, you won't have to worry about pushing it too quick at that point.
I had this guy
stand on it
like a month or two ago who we got called for hypoglycemia and he was like unresponsive, right? Get in there. He'd just gotten this diabetes diagnosis like in his 40s or 50s and his sugar's like 40, something like that. So he is so sweaty that like, and he's fighting us, doing the diabetic thing,
That's the technical term.
Right, yeah, that's what they call that. And so I like try to get a 20, and then it just pulls right out. Like it's sliding out because of the sweat. It's sliding out because he's moving around. And I'm like, well, this isn't great. And he didn't have a lot of veins to begin with. So I was like, well, I don't have many more options here. So I guess I'll do a 22 now because like that's what I think can fit. And like I really can't have this one blow because like we're gonna be in trouble. And we don't have glucagon on our trucks. So like there's nothing else I could do for him after that, you know?
Oh, there is.
Yeah, there
It
is.
just,
It's a little
you're
unorthodox.
probably gonna get punched in the face for it.
Little oral glucose in the mouth or the opposite end.
That is one option.
That's not what I was thinking, but
you also have another access route you can use.
You want me to IO this guy and just start infusing D10?
To be clear, I don't want you to IO this guy and give him D10.
I feel like at that point,
just
transport him to the hospital and get like a, ultrasound IV or something, you know?
Yeah, I would sooner do an EJ for dextrose than I'd IO somebody for dextrose. But you can push dextrose through an IO.
Well, he was drinking. And so it took us forever to infuse that bag. I mean, we're standing there. I'm like, I just have to sit there and hold his IV in place because no matter how much tape, how much code, it just kept coming off. I was like, and no matter, I asked you like the next day, I was like, what do you do to keep these like IVs in place? Because this is ridiculous. And yeah, it probably took us 15, 20 minutes. And then we put a whole, 250 bag of D10 in. And I was like, he's not like waking up. Like, what's going on here? Like, we check his sugar again. It's like 70 or 80. I'm like, all right, so we're making progress. And they were like, oh, yeah, he's been drinking a lot today, too. And I was like, I forget what his name is. Let's just say it was Tim. I was like, hey, Tim, let's wake up here, buddy. I just started like kind of shoving him a little bit with my foot. He's like, and he was just drunk at that point.
At least you fixed the sugar problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
might not feel as bad the next morning.
Was he on insulin?
No, they just put him on like metformin or something like that, and then he had like a family member die, so he just started on this med and like did not eat anything and then drank all day. And then whenever we like got him like awake and stuff, I was like, he really just needs to like eat and like sleep off this alcohol, thing he's got going. He's like he knew where he was able to answer questions, so I thought he was gonna refuse. He's like, nah, I'd actually like to go to the hospital. I was like, of course you would.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. It is surprising though to bottom out after drinking all day. Normally those people are riding really high and they bottom out because they try to cover it with their insulin and it processes out so quick. But I guess if you don't eat anything all day, that'll certainly compound your issues as well.
Thanks for listening to my story, guys.
Yeah, it was a good story.
It was a good story.
If you
So,
could,
2 thumbs up.
I think I should IO him.
No,
Yeah,
holding an IV in place was.
Yeah, but like, let's say I didn't get that IV.
EJ.
An EJ. Then maybe if I didn't get the EJ and IO. But I'll also be honest with you, I've never had to start an EJ, so I don't know if I would trust myself to do it.
That's where I'm at. Like, they didn't even train me in class to do an EJ.
I've seen it done. We talked about it for an hour in class, and that was it. I don't know if I would trust myself to do it. I probably would just go right to the IO, to be truthful.
I can tell you the first time I brought a patient into your hospital, actually, with an EJ, the nurses looked at me a little funny. I was like, access is access.
Exactly.
But I think that was like a trauma patient. I remember what it was. He was stuck in a car, and I wanted to give him some medications and fluids and whatnot. And that's the only part of the body I really had access to well enough to start a line. But yeah, so that's why he got an EJ instead of something more traditional. But which is probably why they looked at me funny, because his condition didn't really like scream,
Yeah, right.
EJ.
The one and only time I've ever seen an EJ done in a field was in 2006, and I had been an EMT for about 4 minutes. And it was a guy that got hit by a train. His traumatic amputation to both his legs and his right arm. Okay. So like we were limited on the access, and that was his go-to, and it worked.
Yeah, I mean it's a good. I know when like on shootings and stuff, when everybody and their mother shows up and is trying to do something, normally whoever's kind of running the call ends up at the airway somehow. So like if nobody has a line started or they're all messing around trying to find access, I would always just have go right there. So
especially in shooting, best place for it. A lot of volume,
yeah,
quick.
a lot of volume real quick. It's going straight back at that point. So it will circulate well. But yeah. So you've been a medic when you were an EMT in 06. When did you get your medic?
2017.
Okay. So I'm assuming you worked as an EMT then
Yeah.
for that
Yeah, I
time?
was.
Okay.
Before that, I was in Medcom here at Forbes, and then on the ambulance, a couple
Okay.
different places.
Nice.
You were at Dirty as an EMT for a while there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's some of the best medics out there, the ones that took their time. I mean, there's also some really good ones that went right through, but I don't
I
think
was
you can.
fortunate with the people I worked with too, that they were all willing to teach me things. I learned a lot as an EMT from the paramedics I worked with. So I was fortunate in that regard too.
That's awesome. What areas were you in when you were working out in the field?
So I grew up in Jeanette, so I worked there.
Okay.
And I mean, that's where I started. Worked at Irwin for a little bit. Worked at Freeport for a little bit.
Okay.
It's really most of the places I was, but Jeanette has been primarily mostly.
Okay. Nice. Um, nice. And then you're also the EMA coordinator out there now. Okay. What's that role entail for you? Being the EMA coordinator and whatnot.
It's a little. I mean, making sure operations plans are up to date, just keeping things steady. Like paperwork, honestly, is a lot of it. Just in the event of an emergency.
So like
The
MCI
ICS stuff, all the forms that need
Right.
filled out, and make sure that's done correctly.
Okay. So a lot of MCI planning, things like that, I'm guessing. Okay, cool. Cool. It sounds like something that often gets overlooked until it's like when you need it, you hope somebody was doing it.
That's truthfully what it is. And a lot of places, I mean, you're required by law to have somebody in position in each municipality, and then the county has to have somebody, and the state has to have somebody.
Okay.
You're
just
100% right. Like if that paperwork doesn't get filled out, and somebody declares a disaster, if reimbursements start coming up, you might lose out on that stuff.
Yeah.
Were you just like missing the idea of doing paperwork? Because in EMS, there's not a whole lot of paperwork to do.
Yeah, I didn't have enough time on my hands, I had too much time on my hands, so I figured more paperwork was the way to handle it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Charting 9 pages wasn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
9 pages of redundancy.
Yeah, I mean, no one really uses page 7 anyway, so.
That's the only page I use. I don't use the other ones. Am I doing charts wrong?
No, you're good.
All right, cool. It's just
everything in page 7.
Everything. Just find a box and type something.
Go to that and just make sure I bring it up at the next meeting.
Right.
Can we please just use page 7?
Just page 7, nothing else. But right on. That's so I've never been an EMA coordinator, but that sounds like you said something that pretty important to make sure you're on top of. So what kind of got you into the EMS world? What made you join up?
Honestly, my father is what got me started. He started his career at Jeanette, and like he ran it up until the end. I started at the fire department when I was 14, and then there when I was 18, and he was kind of the reason it stuck, and
nice.
I went on with it.
Nice. So family legacy. That's pretty cool. So you and Mr. Kelly have a similar story then, except different ends of the counties.
Yeah.
Or Jeanette's Westmoreland, right?
Yeah, Jeanette's Westmoreland.
Yeah. It's 2 different counties.
But not too far.
No. No. It is crazy how like the county overlap, if you will. Like it's not just limited to Allegheny, Westmoreland, but like where I'm up in Butler County, I'll be in Butler, Venango, Clarion. I want to say Armstrong at one point. No. Then we'll end up down in Allegheny if we have to go to the city. But it's crazy.
It is. Any of these response units, you can end up anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's funny hearing, we're calling over Westmoreland for 270 for something that's like way on the other end, I'm like, I know them.
Yeah.
But
I told Wes I wanted to come up to 956 and do some time up there and get orientated up there. Just that's a whole different world of medicine.
dude, anytime. Come on up, ride up with me. It is a good time because um, I'm used to, as you know, very short hospital transport times. I started off about 5 minutes. Yeah, before here, I was about 5 minutes from your hospital. I get there in about 5-10 minutes. To now, like 30 minutes is average to on the shorter end of average transport times. But you hit the bottom of your protocols a lot, and it's kind of cool. Like you run fewer calls by volume, but you're doing a heck of a lot more per patient. Yeah, come on up, man. We'll have fun.
I'm gonna have to do
So
that, especially if you're getting down to the bottom of the protocol and you're starting to like, okay, what's next?
yeah, I mean, not most of, but my COPDers, it's not uncommon for me to give mag to a COPD, which I'm sure you probably don't see too often coming into Forbes. Somebody with mag running on a COPD, you know what I mean?
Last time I saw that was probably COVID, and I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I used MAC a lot in COVID for difficulty breathing patients, but
yeah, but I'd say probably about once a week I'm hanging mag.
that's impressive.
Yeah, especially with it being as humid as it's been. You know, and a couple of the folks that we see fairly regularly up there do not have air conditioning.
That's
They
unfortunate.
get, yeah, they get into a bad COPD asthma exacerbation. Yeah. But yeah, Aaron works out in the middle of you have what, a 1,600 square mile coverage area?
I don't know. I forget what it is. It's preposterous.
So Aaron could load and go and still hit the bottom of the protocol.
So I worked a 32-hour shift, and I ran like 10 calls, and I was out like of the station for probably 28 of those 32 hours. Like that's just like how long our response times and transport distances are. Like it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
That would
But
be annoying.
yeah, for real, come out and try it out. Rural EMS is a lot of fun.
Yeah, as long as we're not going to be like 8 hours of call.
No, it's not that long. It's not that long. It only gets annoying long whenever like there's a couple places that they won't drive our truck to the hospital. So then we have to drive all the way to the hospital, all three of us, and then we have to all three of us drive back to the response truck to get it. I'm like, wow, could have been in service 40 minutes ago, but here we are.
Yeah,
You
but
just
that
need to
means
hook
takes
up
that through.
the chase units with a hitch.
Like on an RV.
Yeah.
You might be onto something.
You should probably get into vehicle design, emergency vehicle upfitting.
Nobody wants that.
All you gotta do is get one of them little U-Haul trailers you can pull right up on.
There you go. I like it. I like it. We just also would have to install some type of trailer hitch on the ambulances. but yeah. Uh, so if my math is correct, you're coming up on 20 years in EMS. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I actually started as a dispatcher in April of 25. April of 2005.
Nice.
But yeah, it's gonna be as a provider 20 years.
So you started as an EMT back when if somebody had diabetes and was acting sort of funny, would just shove glucose in their mouth. We weren't allowed to check their sugar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pulse oxes were optional.
I started as an EMT when each individual hospital had their own set of protocols.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
No, that was
Yeah. There's was the some other nonsense. Combi tubes were big.
combi tubes were real big, putting epi and atropine down the tube during a cardiac arrest.
I think I was telling Aaron about that, how we used to we never started lines on cardiac arrest. We just threw everything down the tube.
Yeah.
He's like, that just sounds like a dumb idea.
Absolutely
I'm like,
wild.
yeah,
That we
I
did
mean,
that.
in hindsight, yeah, it was pretty stupid, but like at the time, we're like, all right, the doctor said it could work. Let's just keep doing it.
Meanwhile, you're squeezing a bag and listening to people drown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If we saturate the lungs in enough epi, then it'll go into the heart. So
3-lane monitors with paddles, life pack pens. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man.
There was no transmitting.
No.
There was no like it didn't interpret anything for you. Like there's no computer really built in to tell any of that. But yeah. And the screens were like the old, like, Aaron, have you seen like a tube TV? You know what I'm talking about when I say
Tube TV?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe to see it.
So like it's square, and like the front of the screen is like kind of bubbled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had like a miniature screen on it. It was like that. And it only was green. That was the only color it could produce. But like those would burn out all the time. So like you had to get it like that's what made you upgrade to the next monitor, was your screen burn out, and you'd have to get a new one.
Put a magnet on it.
Yeah, they were very susceptible to magnets. There's just a lot of crazy, awful ideas in EMS.
That would have not been good for me because I do carry magnets on me at all times.
Go on.
What do you mean? That's all I have to say about that.
It certainly cannot be. Why do you carry magnets on you at all times?
You never know.
Yeah, you might need one.
What if want to hang something on the fridge?
Right. What if something's stuck someplace? Like, what if a small coin is stuck in a place where my fingers will not fit, but a magnet would fit?
Is this happening a lot to you? It's probably not
enough
anymore,
to justify the cost of the magnet.
But the one time you do use it, it's justified.
Yeah, you never know.
Let us know.
It's like that 2x8, that like odd shaped 2x8 or something that you like used for a project 10 years ago that you save in your basement, like for that one time that like you need it, you know?
I have 12 foot of the trim, the baseboard trim for my house. And I needed 15 feet and could not find any more of it. So I had to change the trim in the one room. I was very upset.
But keep the 12-foot piece because you might need it.
Yeah, no, it's back up in the ceiling. It'll we're keeping it. I might need it someday. I don't know. But yeah. So from Jeanette to, you bounced around a little bit, and then you're now doing the pre-hospital coordinator thing. Tell me about what's a day in the life look like for you? Obviously you deal with all of us insane people out in the field doing our nonsense.
It changes every day. I can honestly tell you that I have not had 2 days that have been the same.
Okay.
Whether Jefferson or here, QA, charts, narcotic replacements, issues that arise in the hospital, education. I mean, you name it, it comes across our desk. It seems like anymore for some of the stuff that people can't get answers to, they're coming to us for answers because we can just find them.
Yeah. Oh.
Typically, when I'm done here, I'll go get on the transport ambulance for a little bit because extra money, and you got to move patients.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I've never had good luck, and I've never worked the transport unit here, obviously. But I have always hated doing transports. I feel like I show up, the patient's not ready. We take them where they're going. They're not ready. It's just like, it's a whole lot of waiting for people that called you to be ready, you know?
I am sadly at that point in my career where I would rather do non-emergency transports than be in the field doing e-calls. But I've also noticed too, in the last couple of years, that I've had sicker patients in our facility than I have ever had in the field.
So, I mean, I guess that makes sense if they're getting transferred from one hospital to another, like a higher level kind of hospital. But I've worked at places where we do they dispatch it out on the county as a stat trip from one ED to the next, and those ones are typically pretty sick. There are a couple times you're like, why is this going emergent to another hospital? They stubbed their toe.
Yeah, that would be annoying. I never understood why the hospital was calling 911 anyway. But I get it, in some places that's protocol and everybody's okay with it.
Yeah. I know the hospital I was when I worked at Lower Valley, I would take them out of St. Margaret's all the time. Whenever, Parkview and Foxwell were tied up or whatever. But somebody told me they call like 2 or 3 services depending on like the level of critical acuity on the patient, and then they're like, screw it, we're just calling 911. Like, okay. Whatever works.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a high acuity patient, you got to get it moved. Like,
yeah, no, that makes sense. But on the other hand, it also, like, they're at the hospital, so if they're that acute, like let's get a helicopter and move them quickly kind of thing. But I've also seen helicopters go from one city hospital to another city hospital and thought, that makes no sense.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. You see it a lot at Presby. I would see it a lot. I'm like, oh, where'd you guys come from? Shady Side? That's interesting. On a helicopter? Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Maybe a golf cart would be more efficient.
Yeah. Well, cheaper.
You could, I mean, in heavy traffic, you could get from door to door in 10 minutes tops, going non-emergent.
What do they call those bicycles that like have multiple seats on it?
Tandem bicycle.
Yeah. If you just got like me and a partner in a tandem bicycle and just like put the patient like in a wagon behind us, I think we could get there faster.
Yeah, I think you could too. I think if you just put them in a wheelchair and pushed them, you could probably get them there in about the same amount of time.
Put some sport wheels on that thing.
Well, yeah, and probably a little bell. Ding, 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 ding.
At this point, drones, they're becoming a thing. Get a big enough drone to start moving them that way.
Cranes. Just have a crane system.
We fully rolled out using like the tube systems like we use inside the hospitals to move things from floor to floor, just like bigger for sending patients to
like water slides.
Kinda, but just air.
Yeah.
And they're enclosed.
That'd be kind of sweet.
That would be.
Probably wouldn't work great for like traumas.
I mean, I don't know.
Might hurt a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes you got to break a couple eggs to make that omelet, buddy.
That's true.
So, yeah, I think we should look into it. I think that there's some potential there.
I put it in front of an IRB, get the approval, so they know we're not going to hurt anybody. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Just off we go.
I'm sure that'll be an easy stamp of approval.
Oh,
absolutely,
for sure. We'll just draw pictures.
So, in your current role, you're doing the pre-hospital stuff. You're doing the transport stuff. Do you still do anything with Medcom or?
Yeah, I haven't had to do too much out there.
Okay.
Obviously, like I'll pop in and see how they're doing. If they need a hand with something, I'll answer a phone here and there. But I could not walk in there today and sit down and do that job like I was once able to. I know that much. It has changed drastically, and they do so much more.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed. So they answer the phone differently based on which number I call. Yeah. But I'm like, I just talked to you on a different number. So,
yeah.
They're answering all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they got, oh man, probably 10 different phone lines to answer.
Yeah.
And you're right, though. Each one is a different way to answer, and they all know just by the ring, and you can pick it up and never issue.
Yeah. Now, are they also, is there also a comm center down at AGH, or are they the comm center for AGH?
No, so AGH has one, and that's where Life Flight is dispatched out of, and then Jefferson has one too.
Okay. So I know there's been a couple times where I've just, during peak hours, I'll end up getting somebody that I know is at Forbes. And I'm like, okay, I guess it either rang down or maybe they are,
Brian, what's your favorite thing about your job and what's your least favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing. I have to say this is going to sound so odd. My favorite thing is probably the fact that I can QA charts. And the reason I say that is because I can look at somebody's chart and find out their perspective on a patient and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then keep that and maybe utilize that in the future. So I get to look at a ton of charts and see 200 paramedics do different things for different patients. So it's kind of cool to get a feel for everybody and what they're doing and maybe learn something from that. I don't know if I have a least favorite.
Maybe a least favorite person that you'd like to say by name.
I don't even have that. I would have to say it's
whenever I pick up out there.
The least favorite thing, I guess, would probably be just the amount of meetings. It just seems like constantly, day after day, of meetings. Most
talk about things you're gonna do.
An email, yeah.
That happens. I think any time an organization gets to a certain point, meetings become inevitable.
Ever since I went to college, I realized that being an adult is just about having meetings about meetings, and that really the adults that become successful are the ones who just do what needs to be done, whether or not you had a meeting.
Yeah, Yeah, but you have to have the meeting to plan the planning meeting, the meeting to plan the meeting itself, then a meeting recap meeting.
And then
A
one
lot of
more for
meetings
good.
just to have a meeting.
I love how people will be like, all right, we need to take meeting notes. And then no one, I've often been elected the meeting note person because I just actually pay attention. In an EMS, it's hard to find people who pay attention. And no one has ever been like, can you look back at the meeting notes and tell me if we talked about this or like what we were going to do about that? Like, I'm like, why do I write these notes?
You should just write in whatever you want.
I did before. I started doing that. I would just like write random things down to see if anybody paid attention
Approve
because I
the
would upload it.
30% raise for Aaron.
I did. I would start writing just like random things in there because we had like a Google Drive file where it was like shared into, and I'd be like, "Hey guys, I uploaded the meeting notes. If anybody needs to look back at it or anything." And I think like the only time anyone actually did ever use them was like, "Oh, so and so is supposed to do this thing." Like it was for that mostly, but I would start putting random things in there to see if anybody would notice. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna like flip over Unit 415 today.
Yeah. It's like I know a couple cops that'll put in their like they have software that they use similar to EMS charts, but for accident reports. And there's like basically like clip arts of random things that you can put in there to make like the scene description. And they'll like hide a UFO and like just shrink it down super tiny, but it's like it's in there, like but they'll hide it on every scene.
I'm just gonna start doing that.
Where's Waldo?
What's that?
I'll just start doing that on teams and random people in pre-hospital care.
There you go.
I'll send little pictures of Wesley.
Brian, I know what you need. Have you ever seen the guy who, during COVID, when everybody was working from home, started pre-recording videos of himself that like automatically looped, and then like he used like AI or he had clips ready to go, so that way when somebody asked him a question, he could just like hit play, and it would just be like, "Oh, this is the answer to that thing." And he did that just to like totally screw off, like during all the meetings he was in.
Brilliant. I would 100% get behind something like that.
I think that would take more effort than just answering the question in the meeting, because then you got to find the pre-recorded clip and play the right one.
Listen, what do you want from me?
I don't know.
I'm just throwing ideas out here.
I like it. I like that it takes more time. I always enjoy when people spend more time getting out of work than it would take to do the work that they are getting out of. I find that comical.
That makes you an excellent candidate for a job in EMS.
Sure does.
Yeah. No, it would be fun. If we could convince everybody to change their background on a Zoom meeting to just like a picture of the same person. You know what I mean? So like if we all changed our background on this to just like a picture of TK.
I think that's a good person.
I agree.
I don't think that is as difficult as you think.
No, I know, but like in like the work setting, obviously you'd pick probably a manager who's got a sense of humor, hopefully.
No, still TK.
Just somebody that they don't know.
Like, who is this guy? We actually did that in high school the one day. The one kid got his senior pictures done, and so then we all like literally 10 or 20 of us at school just all put his senior picture as our profile picture on Facebook, and then everybody was like, "What is going on?" Like it was just filling up people's feeds.
That's amazing.
I did that in one of our coordinators meetings. I signed in as Rob Druga. I put Robert P. Druga on for the name. He's like, he had no idea what was going on. I didn't say anything the whole meeting. And then I finally said something. Everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? He's texting me. He's like, dude, that was pretty good. It's like, that was classic. He's like, I thought I was signed in multiple places. He was all panicked.
Yeah. Well, I think now the next level, you've got to coordinate with everybody else on the meeting to do the same thing.
Get everybody signed in as him.
Yeah. And just, yeah. Have you ever seen the, it's a, like a meme. That's what they're called. It's like a screenshot of a Zoom classroom. It was like, I think this kid's like going places, and he just changed his name to Connecting or Reconnecting Ellipses, and then just shut his camera off and his microphone off and went about his day. But he was connected the whole time. I don't know. I think there's
get everybody to be Rob Druga next Daily Huddle.
There you go. I think missing the boat should do it on like one of the large like all company town halls.
There's one today at noon. Too soon for that, but
yeah, we don't have time to coordinate it, but I mean, they'll do another one.
Have you guys ever seen the video of that lady who goes to a town hall and they were talking about doing like rezoning on a street? And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I have a reason. She's like, I don't like Facebook and I don't like it because I can't find a job. And like the guy's like, ma'am, we're here because of the rezoning on 58th. Do you have any comments about that? And she's like, well, I live on 48th and I don't like Facebook. And then there's just like this old guy in the background losing his mind.
Yeah. I saw that clip, but it was, you thought Parks and Rec was fake. And it was the side by side with a clip of when Ron Swanson held the one town hall meeting or whatever. And the lady was like, you had a sign that said, don't drink the water. And I did. And now I'm really sick. So, but anyways, sorry, we keep getting distracted here, man. I feel bad. But so you like doing the charts. I do have a question for you, since you're probably one of the charts gurus. Who came up with the like injury codes and like what they represent in charts? Like there's like contact with spacecraft, or like there's just like some absurd ones.
Found
like,
a needle in a haystack and punctured arm.
Yeah, but like there's not like,
that was all part of the last Nemesis update, and I think that has to do with the ICD-10 codes, and that's why that's in there. I think that's just a billing thing.
Yeah, they're crazy, some of them. If you ever gone through,
especially around here, none of that stuff's ever gonna happen.
Yeah. There's like
struck in head with carton of eggs, and then also started drowning.
Yeah. Yeah, some of that stuff is wild.
Yeah, but like you can't find like tripped over the curb.
Hypoallergenic dog went into anaphylaxis.
Yeah. Random things about aircraft or spacecraft.
Yeah. The spacecraft one is the one that gets me. Like, do we really need to differentiate? How many people are getting injured on spacecraft that we couldn't just put it under?
It's 2025. Anything is possible.
But I mean, this has been there since like 2005. I've had this thought since I began working at EMS. Like,
forgot sunglasses, eyes burned.
Yeah,
that would have been going last year for the eclipse.
Yeah, So yes,
I should be in charge of coming up with the ICD-10 codes.
I don't know. Bit by squirrel that you were trying to tame.
Pet caterpillar was actually scorpion.
Nice. I like that one. But yeah, so they have some wild ones in there for sure. Absolutely wild ones. So what is like one of the most comical reasons a service has reached out to you? It was like, I need help with this.
Most comical reasons of services.
Yeah, so I've heard some like crazy things just being out there. Like, oh, I'm just gonna call so and so. They're my pre-hospital coordinator. I'm like, all right, I think you could probably just go to the store and get your own toilet paper, but you do you know.
Man, that's a tough one. I really don't know.
You must have very good services that you work with.
I will say I am very fortunate that the services I do have, and even the ones I had when I was at Jefferson, are all pretty good. I can't say that anybody has called me for anything off the wall that they've ever needed.
Yeah.
I'll knock on wood, because tonight will be that phone call.
Yeah, I'm hoping you get a fun one though. Like, hey, we need a case of paper towels. Stat. Like, yeah, we don't do that here. Like, and then
not necessarily a service. I'll tell you the most comical thing was linen committees.
Linen committee.
Linen committee.
Okay.
We would have meetings. We did do and still do have meetings about them. That is
what do you do as a linen committee member?
We
just go like, oh, these ones are good.
Discuss on how to cut waste and save money.
Is that is the linen committee who came up with the linen vending machines that we see at certain hospitals?
Not the linen committee, but the linen companies did. And like in some of those hospitals, that was perfect because it was a new hospital and there was nothing ever there. But to get that to change other places, it's a nightmare.
I've got a serious question on this. And it's going to sound unserious, but I'm serious. Is there some type of sensor in those that detects how hot, like how tall you are, and puts it at the most inconvenient height whenever you get your linens out? So like I'm 6'3". Mine are always coming off the bottom rack. But like I'll see like an EMS crew where the person that does it's like 4 foot nothing, and they've got to somehow figure out how to get it out of the top rack.
See, I don't know if there's a sensor in that or not. I just randomly picks what's open. Um,
All right.
some of them don't even do that. They open up and take what you want. It's based on weight.
Okay. Yeah.
I can
I
see somebody that's like 4 foot tall trying to reach that top.
Yeah. I think the one at Wexford, I think they put a stool by it for that reason. There was a stool by it last time I was there, and I just assumed that's what it was for. So if like you were real short and you got the top rack, you could get your linens out of it, and didn't have to go get Rob, whose office is right there, be like, hey, I can't reach these. Could you come get them for me?
I'm just gonna go out to Wexford now and ask Rod to get me linen. Hey
I
man, I
think you
can't reach
should.
out. You do it for it.
Yeah, yeah. It's you might enjoy it. That's probably one of his favorite parts of the job is getting linens off the top
He said,
shelf.
it will be by the time I'm done.
That's right. That's right. I mean, he's tall, so like works out. So, uh, but do you have any advice for anybody new getting into EMS? Anything that they should keep in mind or know as they begin the journey that we're
Do
all
I
on?
have any advice?
Yeah.
Yes. Even though you may feel somebody's emergency isn't an emergency, for that person it is. And you have to understand that at that time, they feel that they're having that emergency, and we should still treat them with the same respect we would any other patient who's having it. Even though we may understand that it might not be something that is
Absolutely.
life altering, it is still an emergency for that person. We have to have the compassion to understand that.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. I think that's good advice for some of the more seasoned professionals as well. I often have to remind people that they don't get to take the narcotics home at the end of the shift. So if someone's in pain, just give them to them. You don't get the leftovers, so just give the pain meds to the people, please.
Seriously.
um, but
that would be
there's
another one.
people.
Like you said, pain's a very subjective thing. If somebody tells me they're having pain, okay, I'll fix it for you.
Yeah,
Who am I to tell
if
you no?
if your vitals will support it, and you have like now, obviously, if you stubbed your toe and you're like, I need ketamine, I'm like, yeah, probably not. But like, if you've sustained an injury or are having like medically driven pain that I can resolve for you, I'm gonna resolve it. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm not going straight to ketamine, fentanyl, morphine, but um, you know, if you're in pain, you're in pain. I can tell you, when I was sick, I was one of the people that was in pain all the time. And I've had people accuse me of being a med seeker. I'm like, no, normally they don't look like me. They're a lot skinnier, but, but yeah,
I mean, you got to write the
but no,
chart anyhow. You might. What's one more line in the activity log?
exactly. And it's, I don't know. I personally, I think the most laborious part of that is restocking the narc box, which honestly, less than 3 minutes to scan out everything, retag the safe and the box. I don't know.
Especially with the system we have, it's super quick.
Yeah. Now I'd say ours is more labor intensive than some of them that are out there. There's a place that I've worked that you literally just wrote it in the book, swapped it out. It was one line on a book. Now there's obviously LogRx, PS Tracks. I think Power Time has their own in there. There's all kinds of different ones out there. But yeah. Well, hey man, I appreciate you doing this with us. Thank you for your time. Thanks for the consult.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
I hope that you had some fun hanging out with us, talking about some off the wall things.
Absolutely. So we'll get Bernstein to come do it. We'll get him a bottle of Dickel, and I'll sit here with him, and we might just drink it. But
that's fine. That might have to be a live one then, because I think I went in on that.
We can make that live. Everybody would watch that.
Yeah, he's a legend, man.
We'll get him and Wesley on together.
Yeah, did I ever tell you I never knew about Dickel until I met Richie. He's like, "You want some of my Dickel?" I'm like, "Bro, quit saying that to me. Like, what are you talking about?" He's like, "It's real good." I'm like, "You're crazy." And he's like, pulls it out of this cooler. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have some of that."
Yeah, because that's exactly what he did to me. That was not what I thought it was.
Yeah,
that's the only reason he likes that drink.
100%. That's at least why he tried it the first time. I'll guarantee that.
Absolutely.
But nah, he's a good dude. Aaron, you've met him up at Seven Springs before.
I have.
You have. Big Harley guy.
You'd be saying that a lot of times about people, and then I'll be like, nope, I wasn't there.
No, you have.
He's a person you'll never forget.
Yeah, hold on.
Clearly not.
We're calling you out here, Richie. Calling you out hard.
Put a picture. Yeah, I remember this guy. I'm sure he's lovely.
He will. You're gonna feel silly once you see it. He's always doing the honor guard stuff. Okay, I think I found the. I was finding the picture that he had sent me. Huh. He is this one.
I've never seen that man in my life.
100% you have. He's the one that trained TK's mom. Harley guy. Always has a bottle of Dickel. Yeah, I promise you have met him and talked to him.
Okay.
I don't think it's possible to have gone to Seven Springs and not talk.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, it's just like it could be your one and only time that you've gone, and you would have had to have met him at some point, somewhere, somehow.
That sounds statistically not true.
I don't know.
He's one of those
I don't
people.
know. Yeah. Once you meet him, you'll be like, I remember you. And you'll be like, you're right, Fewer. You're not.
All right, well,
you're not.
I guess we'll see.
No, we will see, sir. We will. Maybe. I don't know if we can get him on. If not, I'm going to make sure you meet him up at Seven Springs.
We'll get him on.
That way. Yeah. But thanks again, man, for the consult.
Yeah, for sure.
For those of you that are interested in joining us on the show, please reach out. Thanks for the consult at gmail.com.